Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're having a little sketch with me session as well as a little Q&A. I asked you guys on Twitter and Instagram what you wanted to see for this first week of the year. And you guys said you wanted to see a little sketch with me and a Q&A, so here we are. I compiled some of my favorite questions that I got from you guys from both my Instagrams and some from, I think, Twitter, I'm not sure. So yeah, let's just get right into it. It's currently a Saturday, so I have had the most stressful week ever, and I haven't drawn in a week, so I'm very rusty. So I'm going to be looking at some reference pictures on Pinterest just to warm up, and I'm just using this random mechanical pencil. Alright, so let's start off with the first question, which comes from Mafalda Souza, and it says, do you create your own Procreate brushes? And I've gotten this question recently, especially, so many times. And actually, I really don't. That's why I really barely answer this question. I really don't create my own brushes or tweak them. I'm very lazy in that sense, and I just use the default brushes on Procreate. I'll just show you guys which brushes I use. So I have a little folder of like the brushes that I use most often, and I'm sorry for the glare, I'm going to try and put this at an angle. So I use the Narinder pencil. I love that one a lot. I really like the Bonobo chalk that my flatmate actually introduced me to, and I'm like obsessed with it now. And then these are like some texture brushes that I sometimes use, like the Jasinki ink, wet acrylic, and gouache. And then I really love the Reed brush, as well as the Nico Roll brush for like textury stuff. I love the bamboo one. I love the classic 6B, you know. I use this soft brush mostly for like doing gradients in the backgrounds and stuff like that. And then of course I've got the round brush and like a hard airbrush, and I use those two mainly for line art and just setting down the flats. And all of them are literally set to the default settings, so they're very boring. I want to try digital art, but I don't know what device should I start with. Any tips? I would say that you don't really need anything too intense or expensive to start anything. You can literally just start doing digital art. If you've got an iPad, I'd obviously definitely recommend Procreate because it's just a tenner and it's really, really great. And you don't have to have an Apple Pencil for it. You can like buy some very similar ones like for really cheap online. Yeah, I definitely obviously recommend Procreate just because it's really beginner friendly. But if you have, I don't know, I know that there are a lot of like free softwares out there to do digital art. I personally am not very well versed in them, so I'm sorry, this is not a very good answer, but and you don't really need anything too fancy in terms of like a Wacom tablet or something. There are some really cheap versions out there, like the bamboo tablets, which was the first one I ever had. They're really cheap and they honestly work wonders. That's what the one I started off with, and they work really well, so you don't need much to start off your art career. Gablisiak. I'm sorry I'm butchering everyone's names, by the way. How do you keep up with making drawings and school? Because I can't seem to handle both. That's a very good question. It really depends because, for example, recently when I've been really stressed and full of work, it's very hard to even master up the energy to draw anything during the week. And it's hard because then I don't have anything to show you guys, any new things, and it's kind of like everything's really dry. But whenever I do find the time and the energy, I always try to sit down and sketch some stuff. Even if I'm feeling a bit rusty, I try to like warm up a bit with some, you know, not so good drawings to then have something a little bit better. University, I do draw a lot, so I do never really lose that. Sorry about the weather outside, guys, if it's creating a lot of noise, but I always try to not lose that little streak, I guess, of drawing. And it's just about allocating time in your life to sit down and draw. It's like self-care and it's practice, and it's just like sitting down and practicing a language or, you know, or studying. It's the same thing. You just have to allow yourself some time to do it, and put it into your schedule, I guess. Spencer the Panda, do you have any art-related specific goals for 2019? I do, yeah. I don't know if you guys saw my 2019 bullet journal plan with me and setup, but I put in some of my first resolutions in there, but I have put in some more. Most important resolutions that I want to achieve is to do more animations for fun, because I this year did none like just for fun, like not uni related, and that made me very sad because I want to have stuff of my own and build like a little portfolio of myself to, you know, also post on YouTube and Vimeo and have like some work of my own that isn't in response to a brief. And I have so many ideas, that's the problem. I have a lot of ideas of stuff I want to make and animate, but it's just a matter of finding the time and allowing myself the time to do it. So next year, hopefully, I'll be coming out with some cool animations that all of you can see and that I can make, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, I don't think I've got any more resolutions. Maybe do some more paintings, like some canvas paintings. I didn't do as many this year as I did last year, so just try and not let work take over my life as much and have more time to draw for myself. Definitely one for sure. Next question. Do you mind people posting art inspired by your personal style with credits? It's a very good question. And I've been asked that a lot, especially by my friends and stuff, because I myself, I'm not very well versed in this whole, you know, inspiration and what's right or wrong thing in the art community. Like, I really don't know where I should stand, so I've just been not making any comments about it until I'm sure what I think about it. I personally don't mind. I think it's very sweet when people use my art style, especially to practice and stuff like that, and then post it and like tag me in it. I love seeing all your guys' recreation stuff, and that's the thing, I don't really have much of an art style. It's just mainly the, you know, the eyebrow thing, which isn't really an art style, it's just a preference. I personally don't mind, like, by all means, go ahead, as long as you like tag me in it, I guess, so I can see it. At this moment in time, I don't really mind. I think it's very sweet, very cute. I like it very much. But, you know, copying someone's actual piece is completely different, because there is inspiration and then there's downright, you know, copying someone's like full work, and that's something completely different. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Next question. We have a question from April May. How long did it take you to start getting a large following on YouTube and Instagram? PS, love you. Oh, thank you. Love you also. This is an interesting question because I have been on YouTube for about 5 years. I haven't been like posting as a regular poster for like maybe 4 years, and even then it was I don't even know how to answer this question. I started off with a following on Instagram first, and this came mainly from because I just loved drawing fan art and just portraits of people that I liked, like celebrities and stuff. So that's how I started getting a following, but it was just like how I made time pass during summer holidays. It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to get a following. It was just I did. Once I started getting a bit of a following on Instagram and stuff, people started asking if I was going to do tutorials, could I do some tutorials, this and that, and I started a YouTube channel. And for about 4-5 years, it was, you know, very steady, slow growth. I didn't really care or mind at all. I just liked doing videos, and that's why I did them. I think it took about like 4 years to actually get a bit of a following on YouTube and stuff, and then it kind of all exploded a bit last year, as you guys probably saw, and that's where I am now. It took the time that it took, you know. It's not like I was pulling every trick in the book. I was just learning as I was going along and doing it for myself, which is how I started doing it. Because if you're not doing it for yourself, it's just a chore, and then what's the point, you know? Hope that answered your question. May Ashlyn asked, how do you find motivation to draw and create, especially when you don't like the art you've created? I think motivation is something it's very independent. Like you can motivate yourself. You can be your own hype man very easily. I don't really believe in the whole having to wait for inspiration to hit, because like that's just putting things in the hands of the universe, and I don't really love that personally. But that's just my belief. I think if you yourself do stuff that brings you joy and makes you happy, then you're always going to feel inspired, and you're never going to really lose inspiration, because I feel like happiness is and enjoyment is inspiration. So that's how I try to stay motivated. If I'm not liking anything I'm doing, what I do is I just power through it. I did mention this in my last Q&A. It's like when I'm having some sort of art block or not liking what I'm creating at the time, I just keep on drawing through it. And last time I think I explained it as like going through a puddle of mud or something. Like you just kind of have to keep walking through it until you get out on the other side. And then, it's how it works for me personally. It's like getting out all the bad drawings, to get to the good ones. That's me personally. That's how I experience life and art block and whatever. So obviously it's not going to work for everyone. Els asked, what's your all-time favorite watercolors? Great question. I mentioned this a couple times in my last couple videos. These Arteza watercolors are currently my favorites. They're the 12 pan watercolors. They're like very travel friendly. They're so good. Very, very pigmented. I love them very much. And I have a 10% off code that you guys can use. I'll have the links to everything in the description if you guys want to get yourselves some of these. So those are my favorites at the moment. I literally use them for like everything. Like I started using watercolors a lot more once I got these, and I'm obsessed. Those boys are some good boys. I'm sorry I'm really slow at drawing today. It's just I'm still warming up. It's early and I've had a hellish week, so this is for me therapy. Also, no, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of going with it. Cool, next question. What's your favorite quote? I like that. I don't know. Actually, I think my flatmate told me this quote a couple of weeks ago that I really liked. It was something like, don't tell me the sky's the limit when there are footprints on the moon. And I really, really like that quote. I don't know who it's from, by the way. I just really like it. Sasha asked, is Back Chen ever gonna get off my neck? Girl, no. No, he isn't. We both know that there is no hope for our croissants ever. Also, I miss you. Sasha does really cool art as well, by the way, guys. You guys should go follow her. She's really, really cool. What is your favorite movie? I don't know. Do I have a favorite movie? I have a couple of like all-time favorites. Obviously, Disney's Hercules. That's like an all-time favorite. Burlesque is an all-time favorite as well. And a guilty pleasure that I really, really love is Love Actually and Sinbad. Sinbad as in the animated one from DreamWorks.
Hi everyone, Editing Piper here. Just to let you know that this answer has since changed since I filmed this video, and ever since I went to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that is now my all-time favorite movie of all time, and I think will be for a very long time. If you have not seen it yet, what are you doing with your life? Please take yourself to go see it. So just here to re-answer this question. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is amazing.
Grace asks, what is the one thing that inspires you the most? It's very weird because I will both get inspiration from my worst, saddest times as well as when I'm feeling really happy and motivated. It's a very fine line because it really depends on what art I'm feeling like creating. I really don't really know exactly, but definitely other people's art and life situations, I guess. Also watching new things definitely inspires me a lot because, I'm just experiencing this whole new thing all of a sudden, and it's very new and fresh, and I like it. Next question. How's your life been? P.S. I love your art so much. Oh, thank you so much. How's my life been? At the time that I'm recording this, the last couple days, before I go home for Christmas, last couple weeks of this project that I've been doing since September, and I am very tired. That's how my life's been, very tired. It's been a rough couple weeks, I'll be honest with you guys. I won't lie, but I am getting through it. I've been reminding myself to take care of myself, because that's something you should never forget. But it's all very worth it. I'm very happy with the project that I'm making at the moment. It's very cute. I really like it. And yeah, getting through it. And I'm very excited to see my pets for the new year. Very excited for the new year. What is your absolute most favorite thing to draw? I feel like since I was young, I've always loved drawing faces and like people. And different kinds of faces and eyes, especially love drawing eyes. I do now have like a huge obsession with drawing full bodies. Like I've been really loving drawing full body design and stuff like that. Just kind of working on the anatomy, you know what I mean? So yeah, I've been really liking to do that. Also because it gives me a lot more scope to be able to draw more finished pieces and compositions and new OCs and stuff. So that's what I've been loving to draw recently. Also, I've been really getting into drawing animals, so that's always good to draw because it's so wholesome. Who doesn't love a good drawing of a doggo on a Friday night, you know what I mean? How do you keep up with uni and your own brand at the same time? This is very similar to the question I had earlier. It's very easy for me because I am developing my brand as a professional at university by just, working there and creating a body of work. It all comes back to like allowing yourself to have the time or as much time as you want in your life to do it, because it is all really, it's very down to you what you allow yourself to do in your free time. And if that is drawing, if you put like a little 1 hour slot like every other day just to sit down and draw and develop your skill. Just like if you are the kind of person that likes to read before bed a lot, I definitely recommend every other day switching it out for like sketching a little bit before bed, because I really like doing that. And it's always, of course, a learning curve because I'm still figuring it out sometimes. I, of course, had to had to close my shop for a bit because I was so overwhelmed with work from university and stuff. Would you ever make a comic or a short story with your OCs? And I love your art so much. Thank you so much, Logan Berry. And this, that was one of the first things when I wanted to do when I first developed my OCs. I was like, I really want to do a comic with them. I want to, just because I have so much about them that I want to share with you guys, like so much lore, I guess, about them. And doing a comic isn't easy and it takes time, but hopefully in 2019 I'll be able to start it at least, or start planning it, I guess. Yeah, that's definitely in the plans for sure. And why do you draw thick eyebrows anyways? I have gotten this question so many times in the past couple of months, it's ridiculous, like thousands, okay? And I keep answering it, but people seem to keep missing it. But I draw thick eyebrows because I want to. Because I like them. And because they're cool. So that's it. What is your long-term or life art goal? Definitely to be an animator. That's definitely my goal. I want to be an animator in the future. That's why I'm taking animation. Good one, Piper. And I want to work in a studio and create some cool stuff. I want to create my own stuff in my own time and be happy doing and creating. That's my goal. How are you handling uni stress? Could be better, but could be worse, I guess is the answer. How do you know where to put your shadows even when you don't use a reference photo? That is a very good question. I don't think anyone's ever asked that. And I think the way that I do it is if I draw something out, before I even put down shadows or anything, or before I even start drawing normally, this normally comes to me when I'm like in the middle of sketching. I'll figure out where the shadows would look best, and I basically imagine where the light source would be coming from. So, for example, if I was drawing this gal, I kind of imagine the light coming from this side at an angle where it's like pointing at her a little bit, like she's looking out a window. And the best way to do that is to draw out like a little arrow where the light would come from. It doesn't have to be like a 3D arrow if you're not comfortable with that kind of shading yet, but just drawing a simple arrow like lighting is coming from here. And then basically everything that wouldn't be hit by the light source is where you would apply the shadows. So this also kind of ties in with knowing the figure of what you're drawing, but yeah, just kind of drawing some lines where you know the shadows will be and then filling it in. So these areas would be really dark because shadows, and this area as well. This whole area of the arm would be darker. I just kind of imagine this in my head. I don't normally draw them down, but there's also, of course, sometimes there's like various light sources. So if you're working with color and stuff, you can do this through various angles. So you normally have the main light source, and you can have like a bit of a backlighting where you just have like a little bit of a halo around her, or like a little line at the edges that is a different color. Yeah, it's just about learning about lighting, I guess, which I had the pleasure of learning at university. Favorite artist? Ooh, great question. At the moment, I have so many. I don't know if I have one favorite artist, but septemberwildflowers on Instagram, she has some amazing compositions, and I love her art. Oh, Trickywagon, of course. I love her work so much. The colors and everything are mwah. Ooh, I'm really obsessed with this artist on Instagram right now called pastellmeer. She has the most aesthetic Instagram ever. Like, her drawings are so cute, and her lighting is beautiful. I'm literally like, this is what I kind of also meant about secondary lighting. So you can have like the main lighting, and then there's a secondary lighting that's a different color, and she just has really beautiful work that I am obsessed with and I love very much. Any tips on how to improve your human figure? Yeah, I feel like I answered this last time, but I've got like a bit of a different answer now. I'd say, obviously, besides practice and drawing out so many bodies that you like just completely memorize the human body, definitely there's a website that I learned about. One of you guys commented on one of my videos about it to check it out, and I've been using it a lot. It's called Line of Action. So it is line-of-action.com, and this is amazing for learning figure drawing of anything. They've got facial expressions, hands and feet, figure drawing, animal drawing. It is honestly so good, and you can learn how to and you can like set up your different like settings. So if you want it timed, how long do you want for each drawing, if you want like drawing from life or not, female, male, it literally, you can set up whatever you want, and it's really good, and I definitely recommend. It's basically an online human figure course in itself, and you can do it whenever you want. And then also, of course, you know, Pinterest is my best friend in terms of finding human figure references. So I have a board on there where I have like most of the stuff that I use to learn human figure, and also just what I use for references sometimes. Next question, do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? No. Next question. What's your favorite device/app to make digital art with? Definitely at the moment, Procreate. I am very obsessed with Procreate. I do want to branch out and try different programs to see, like, you know, what the benefits are and if there's anything there that I can't do in Procreate and stuff like that. But at the moment, definitely Procreate. Love it very much. And of course, for, you know, animating, I normally just use Photoshop, but I am trying to learn how to use Flash and, well, not Flash anymore, it's Animate CC and or TV Paint. So that's kind of what I've been using at the moment. I'm just gonna give her a hat, actually. Her hair's looking really flat. I'm gonna give her like a American Horror Story Coven vibes here. I'm gonna start wrapping it up a little bit. I've got only a couple questions left. So what are some of the benefits you find art gives you? For me personally, art is like therapy. It's like my way of processing things, because you know how some people like go for a run when they've had a bad day, or some people cook. I draw, and it's my way of escaping my problems a little bit, but also processing them without hurting myself, I think is the best way I can put it. Something you want to get better at. Something I'm practicing a lot at right now is getting better at composing music. I've been really into GarageBand and like tinkering with it and stuff, so I'm trying to get better at that a little bit. And also hand lettering. I've been trying to get better at that as well. So I think that was actually the last question, guys. So yeah, thank you so much for sending me all your amazing, funny questions, guys. It really means the world to me that you guys take the time to look at my stuff and respond to it. So thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, thank you for joining me in my sketching session. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, as I'm doing this, I also want to mention that my shop is now open again. It's been closed for a while, so thank you guys for your patience over the Christmas period and a little bit before that. I'm sorry for keeping it closed for so long, but it's finally open. It's my new domain as well on Squarespace. I'm so happy. New design, new everything, new year, new shop. I'll leave the link down there. Of course, you can buy stickers, prints, originals as well on there, some of them, and zines. So this is kind of what I came up with today in this little sketchbook session. I hope you guys have a great start to your year and a great week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!